Imagine a world without history books, without contracts, without even a shopping list. A world where every transaction, every law, every story existed only in the fleeting whisper of memory. How would a complex society function? How would an empire rise? This wasn't just a philosophical question for an ancient people, it was their everyday reality. And in confronting it, they didn't just solve a problem, they invented the very tool that would unlock all future civilizations. They were the Sumerians, and they invented writing, but not for the reasons you might think. Around 4500 BCE, in the Fertile Crescent of Mesopotamia, nestled between the life-giving Tigris and Euphrates rivers, the first shoots of true civilization began to sprout. This land, a crucible of innovation, offered fertile soil but demanded ingenuity. Early settlements of the Ubaid period gradually evolved, harnessing the rivers through sophisticated irrigation systems. This wasn't just about survival, it was about generating a surplus, a bounty of food that allowed communities to grow beyond subsistence farming. With this surplus came specialized labor, complex social structures, and eventually, the rise of powerful city-states like Uruk, Uar, Lagash, and Eridu. Each was a burgeoning metropolis, governed by an ensi, a priest-king who managed both spiritual and temporal affairs. But as these cities expanded, as trade flourished, and as resources needed to be allocated to thousands of citizens, the limitations of oral tradition became glaringly clear. How do you track thousands of bushels of barley, hundreds of sheep, or intricate labor schedules for monumental construction projects without a reliable record? Managing such complexity, such bounty, demanded a new way to record, to track, to remember. It demanded something revolutionary. And so, born not from the desire to immortalize kings or pen epic poems, but from the stark necessity of managing overflowing granaries and herds, writing emerged. What we know as cuneiform, the world's first true writing system, began its life as simple pictograms scratched onto clay tablets, accounting symbols to record transactions and inventory. It was the ultimate bookkeeping tool. Over centuries, these pictograms evolved into wedge-shaped marks, abstracted and systematized, capable of representing not just objects, but sounds and ideas. This was the Sumerian Golden Age, a period of unprecedented intellectual and technological leaps. With writing, complex administration became possible. They codified laws, like the Code of Uar-Nammu, centuries before Hammurabi. Their advancements in mathematics, based on a sexagesimal or base 60 system, gave us the 60-minute hour and the 360-degree circle, concepts still fundamental today. They charted the stars, built monumental ziggurats that pierced the heavens, and through their written word, preserved humanity's first great epic, the tale of Gilgamesh, a king's desperate search for immortality. Their power wasn't merely military, though they had powerful armies, it was the power of organization, innovation, and the written record. But even the mightiest civilizations are not immune to the relentless march of time. The Sumerian city-states, often in conflict with each other over land and water, became vulnerable. Environmental degradation, particularly the salinization of their once fertile fields from centuries of irrigation, slowly eroded their agricultural base. This internal strife and weakened resource base left them susceptible to external pressures. The rise of the Akkadian Empire under Sargon the Great around 2334 BCE saw Sumerian city-states absorbed into a larger, Semitic-speaking entity. Though subsequent empires like the Gutians, Elamites, and later the Babylonians and Assyrians would rise and fall in Mesopotamia, the Sumerians themselves, as a distinct political and cultural entity, faded from direct power. Yet, their legacy is monumental, rippling through every facet of modern life. They gave us the very concept of the city, the first organized legal systems, advancements in astronomy and mathematics, and perhaps most importantly, writing itself. Cuneiform was adopted and adapted by countless subsequent cultures, serving as the lingua franca of the ancient Near East for millennia. The Sumerians, in their pragmatic quest to record a harvest, unknowingly etched the very blueprint of civilization into clay, a legacy that echoes in every word we read, every number we count, and every story we tell today. Don't forget to subscribe to Kadim World.